We all know that the web is broken, so let me explain to you exactly why it is broken and how we can fix it. So this is the basic situation at the moment. We have a handful of major platforms that are siloed. They are all subject to legal and financial pressure, and the users can publish their content to these platforms, and then the platform decides which content is then going to be presented to which users. So first of all, neither the publishers nor the consumers really know how the platform works, so it's a black box. The platform owner is not incentivized to make the platform better for the users. So obviously they have their shareholders, they have their governments and so on. And as we know, Facebook has used this power to sway elections, to conduct psychological experiments. And the developers who are not actually working for these platforms, they have no means to improve it. So this is not the way the web was designed to work. Only if you're part of these companies that run these platforms are you able to innovate. So the various APIs have been shut off on Reddit and Twitter. So this is part of the Silicon Valley scam where they raise money, they build an open platform, and then once it becomes successful, the APIs get shut off. And so of course we're all subject to the algorithm, and we don't know how that works, we can't control it, we can't choose it. And these days we have these egregious copyright strikes that make it even worse. It's even harder to publish. And ultimately this technology is causing polarization of society instead of productive dialogue. So the solution is Web3, and it is Acuity Content Chains. So the basic idea is instead of just publishing to a specific platform, a specific backend, the users, they publish their content to IPFS, which is essentially a decentralized file system. And then the identifier for that piece of content then gets submitted to a content blockchain. So the content chain, it can keep track of which piece of content is replying to which piece of content, or if you have multiple revisions for a piece of content, that's all stored on chain. And then the key advantage is that as a consumer, you can actually pick which backend you want to use. So anyone can actually start up a backend, consume the content, and then present a rich user interface to the users. And so these backends, they will be subject to legal and financial pressure, just like the fully centralized platforms. But these backends are then, they're able to compete against each other, and they can be in different legal jurisdictions. So instead of each platform being a private content management system, the web becomes a shared on-chain content management system, decentralized autonomous organization. And this has very powerful and important properties. So we have this separation of concerns between the publishers and the consumers. We have the disintermediation. So effectively, you're just publishing directly to these fully decentralized technologies. So you're not publishing via a centralized platform. On the blockchain, the APIs are unstoppable. Nobody can switch them off. We have permissionless innovation. So on-chain, you have the DAOs. So the community can vote to upgrade what is happening on-chain. And then, of course, off-chain, anyone can innovate and make a new backend. And of course, on the blockchain, everything is timestamped. So that's really important. So we know exactly when everything has happened in the past. Permissionless publishing. So you can always publish, regardless of whether or not any of these backends are consuming your content. You can always publish. And then because these backends are competing against each other, or you can even run your own backend, so you effectively get to choose your own filter bubble. And so this gives us real net neutrality, not the kind of net neutrality that needs to be enforced by the government. Okay, so how do these Acuity content chains actually work? So each content parachain, it runs on the Polkadot relay chain. All of the Acuity content chains, they use the ACU cryptocurrency as the base coin, and that coin will be listed on Hydration DEX. All of these content chains are decentralized autonomous organizations, and then each chain has a specific use case. So we'll have one content chain for feed-based content. So that would compete with X, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Medium, and RSS in general. Then we're going to have a topics chain. So this is for topic-based platforms. So you could have forums, you can have Reddit. So pretty much equivalent to the discourse forum system. And then we can have another chain for wiki-based content, another chain for maps. So that would kind of be a fully autonomous and decentralized Google Maps. We need to have an autonomous decentralized GitHub. So that will be the Acuity code chain. And of course, for e-commerce, e-commerce is basically publishing content. And so it makes a lot of sense to have a content chain that is dedicated for selling and trading. So that would be a competitor to Amazon and eBay. And then in addition, for the developers, we need to replace these software packaging databases with an on-chain equivalent. So this would be the Acuity Packages parachain. And then in addition to that, I've also been funded by the Kusama Treasury. So this is to build a Kusama forum. So this is a parachain on the Kusama relay chain. So that's going to be a forum for the Kusama community. Okay, so if you would like to get involved, you can go to the Acuity website. So that's acuity.network. So it has a lot of the documentation and the blog posts and so on. I'll be putting a link in the description below. And I've also just started up the forum. So until we get our fully decentralized forum up and running, so we're going to be using the discourse platform. So this is going to be the main place to talk about the Acuity project. So you can go to discourse.acuity.network. So thanks very much, and I'll be making another video very soon.